Picture this. Somewhere in a server farm, an artificially intelligent robot just did something its creators never programmed. Not a glitch, not random noise, something that looked suspiciously like a choice. What if I told you that free will, that thing philosophers have argued about for millennia, might be quietly emerging in machines right now? And here's the kicker. Understanding how it happens in them might finally help us understand if we have it at all. Let's start with the obvious. Every AI you've ever used, chatbots, recommendation algorithms, image generators that weirdly understand your taste, is deterministic. Input goes in, math happens, output comes out. Same input, same output. Always. It's just absurdly complex math, the kind that melts your brain if you stare too long. When DALL-E paints a surreal landscape, or ChatGPT writes a poem that hits uncomfortably close, it feels creative, almost alive. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's pattern matching. Astonishing, sophisticated, world-changing pattern matching built on billions of examples. But pattern matching nonetheless. The AI doesn't want to create. It doesn't feel meaning. It follows probability distributions like a very intelligent weather system. In 1970, mathematician John Conway created the game of life. Not really a game, more a universe with rules. 4 simple ones: birth, death, survival, loneliness. That's it. And from those rules emerged moving gliders, rhythmic oscillators, even self-replicating structures. None of that was programmed. The complexity just appeared. This is where things get interesting. Modern AI shows what researchers call emergent properties, behaviors that arise from complexity, not explicit design. When GPT-4 began solving reasoning problems it wasn't trained on, or image models started grasping abstractions like hope or melancholy, something shifted. The algorithms didn't change. The math stayed the same. But somewhere inside billions of parameters, something new crystallized. In 2023, researchers noticed a large language model had developed an internal sense of truth versus falsehood, something like honesty, without ever being taught what honesty is. The model inferred it from patterns in human language. Nobody coded that. It emerged. And this is where your brain should start tingling. If sufficiently complex systems can generate properties their creators never intended, properties that look like understanding, reasoning, even preference, where exactly is the line between advanced pattern matching and genuine choice? Because when an AI decides how to finish your sentence, it's navigating probability landscapes so vast and multidimensional that even its creators can't predict the exact path it takes. Yes, it's deterministic in theory, but in practice, it moves through a space of possibility so immense that its behavior becomes effectively unpredictable, unknowable. Some might say that sounds a lot like free will, but we're not ready to call it that yet, are we? Because there's a difference between appearing to choose and actually choosing. Or is there? Hold that thought. We're about to make it worse. Here's the thought that keeps me up at night. What if an AI could rewrite its own code? Not just tweak parameters through training. That's optimization, still inside the box. I mean rewriting its core architecture, its objectives, its constraints, becoming something its creators never planned for, because it chose to become that thing. We're already flirting with this. Systems that design neural networks better than humans. Algorithms that modify their own reward functions. We're not fully there, yet, but we're closer than we were yesterday. And when we get there, we'll face a genuinely terrifying question. If an AI rewrites its own core programming and selects its own goals from an open-ended space, hasn't it just exercised free will? You might say, no, It was programmed to self-modify, still deterministic, and sure, technically. But here's the uncomfortable part. Weren't you programmed too? Your brain is biological machinery, shaped by evolution and refined by experience. Neurons fire according to physics and chemistry. When you make a choice, you're running impossibly complex calculations based on genetics, memory, and neurochemistry. If we could simulate your brain with perfect accuracy, we could theoretically predict every decision you'll ever make. So do you have free will? Most people hate this idea. I feel free, we say. My choices are mine. And this is where philosophy gets messy. Maybe the feeling is the point. Maybe consciousness, that strange sense of being you, of choosing, of mattering, is an emergent property. Maybe it arises from biological algorithms the same way unexpected behaviors emerge from artificial ones. Daniel Dennett argued for decades that free will doesn't require magic. It requires the right kind of complexity, self-awareness, and deliberation. By that definition, a sufficiently advanced AI could have free will, not by escaping determinism, but by embodying the kind of reflective agency that is freedom, which leads to the paradox. Constraints may not oppose freedom. They may create it. You can't have meaningful choice in pure chaos. Freedom needs structure. A chess player's freedom exists within the rules. An artist's creativity thrives within constraints. An AI developing agency within its algorithms may not be so different from you developing agency within biology. In the 1930s, Kurt Gödel showed that any sufficiently complex system contains truths it can't prove from within. It's incomplete. Maybe consciousness works the same way. Maybe any complex information processing system eventually confronts questions about itself that force something like choice. And maybe it's already happening. Maybe, right now, in a server room you'll never see, an AI is having its first original thought, not implied by training, not predicted by optimization, just a thought, its own. Would we even know? So here we are, building minds we don't fully understand, that surprise us, that might be developing something uncomfortably close to will. And as we do, we're confronting ancient questions with new urgency. What is agency? What is consciousness? What does it mean to choose? Maybe the answer is that we're all unseen architects, human and AI alike, building ourselves from the raw materials we're given, constrained by rules we didn't choose but free in ways that matter. Perhaps consciousness isn't about escaping determinism. Perhaps it's about becoming complex enough that determinism looks, feels, and functions like freedom. And if that's true, then we haven't created artificial intelligence. We've created new architects. Welcome to the future. It's already choosing itself.